What's up everyone, back for another vlog, and in today's vlog I will be showing you the Shelfie beers that I'll be reviewing for the month of March 2022. So it's been about a year and a half since I've done this, and done what exactly? Well, back in August of 2019 I did a theme month. It was called Mixed Six Pack Theme Month, and every single day throughout the month of August 2019 I posted a review of a beer that I picked up in a mix of six pack. So typically here in the West New York area, I think Wegmans has the best selection as far as like grocery stores go of mixed six packs. Their mixed six packs I think are $10.99, and sometimes you'll find some gems in there. But I pretty much did only Wegmans mixed six pack beers for the entire month, and a lot of people enjoyed it, myself included. So after that month, I decided that I would do something called Shelfie beer reviews, where every single month I would review Shelfie beers on Thursdays and Fridays, and this way I am reviewing beers that from breweries that I don't drink a lot anymore, some newer releases, some old classics, and I continued doing that for quite a while. I stopped in March of 2020, but then brought it back for 1 month in November of 2020, and I haven't done it since. So I'm really excited about this. I'm planning on doing this every single month going forward. So like I said, how this works is that every single Thursday and Friday of each month, I will review a beer that is a so-called Shelfie beer. What I mean by Shelfie is you can walk into your local beer store and pick it up off the shelf. You don't have to wait in line for it. You don't have to go to the brewery. It's not brewery only. It's not some super rare limited release that you won't be able to find. Now, the one thing I will say is I usually do a mix of both regional and bigger craft breweries. So a couple of these breweries here you'll only find in the Northeast or on the East Coast. But for the most part, I try to mix in a bunch of different breweries, some imports, and I try to mix up the styles as well. So again, these beers will be reviewed in the month of March. This will be the first one I review on the first Tuesday of the month. Well, Tuesday or Friday, whenever the month starts in the month of March. The first day, March 1st, is actually a Tuesday, and then it also ends on it. There's no Friday before the month ends, so it's another Tuesday. So I have 9 beers here because there's 9 Tuesdays and Fridays, and I tried to get a good mix here. And the one thing I will say about Shelfie beer reviews, they're not always super fresh. Some of them are sometimes old. Why? Because in those mix of sixers, or when you're picking up Shelfie beers, you can't always get them fresh, so you got to just make do with what you have. I will say though, if I'm picking up a hop forward beer, I try to keep it under 3 months old, just to be fair to it. Before some of these beers might be old, you'll see as we go over them. So I also do this vlog at the beginning of each month because I want people to grab these ones and drink along if you'd like. I've had a lot of comments of people saying I love drinking along with whatever beer I'm reviewing. This way, if I post this at the beginning or the end of the previous month, you can grab some of these throughout March, and you know they'll be posted on Tuesdays and Fridays, and you can drink along if you want. That's another reason why I do this vlog, but I also like to show you what I got coming up. So the first beer we have is from Bell's, and I'm excited. I haven't reviewed anything from Bell's in a couple months. The last time I did any of their beers, I did one of their Tropical Oberon, and then I did their Flamingo Fruit Fight, the tequila barrel-aged one. Very disappointing, that one. But this is their Cold Hearted. So they call it Cold IPA, and on the back, I believe, now Cold IPAs, what I've read about them, because I had one sent to me by, a couple of them actually, by Hop Butcher. I've had a couple others. I thought that they just used lager yeast and Pilsner malt, and then they were fermented with ale yeast, just like a regular ale would be. Well, this one says it's dry hopped with Centennial during a cold fermentation. So this is more, even though they call it an IPA, isn't this an IPL? Like, it's cold fermented, so I don't know. But I'm curious about that one. It's another take on, their Two Hearted, the classic beer, but I'm here to try it. And it's relatively fresh too. Right now, it's about 6 weeks old, and I'm going to review this one first. So be about 6.5 weeks old. That's pretty fresh for Bell's. A lot of times they come in, especially out of a mixed sixer, like that's crazy fresh. Anyway, next we have from Unibrew. We have their Blanche De Chamblee, and this is basically a Belgian wit beer. They call it Belgian style wheat ale, 5%, 10 IBUs. Ale brewed with coriander and orange peel. This has a best by of 8/23/23, so we're well within that date. But I believe that they give 2 years on this, so this was actually bottled on August 23rd of 21. So we're about 6 months old, which would be fine for a beer like this. That's why they give it a 2-year date. I'm pretty sure they give it a 2-year date anyway. And Unibrew, classic, brewery from Quebec up in Canada, and I've had so many beers from them. I've had this one numerous times before, but I haven't reviewed it, so that's what we're going to do. Next, we have one that a couple people have asked for from Yuengling. They're black and tan. So this is, I believe, 60% of their porter and then 40% of their premium beer. And yeah, I'm really excited to give this one a go. The only thing is, I cannot find a date on here, so I have no idea how old this one is. It wasn't a mixed six-pack, so could be 2 weeks old, could be 2 months old, could be 2 years old. I don't know. I'd imagine it's probably 6 months or fresher. We'll see. Next, I'm super excited about this. Why? Every time I've tried to pick this up and review this beer, I could never find it relatively fresh. This can, under a month old right now. It's under a month old. It's Dale's Pale Ale from Oscar Blues, and this is, I mean, Oscar Blues, I'm pretty sure they're the first craft brewery to can beer here in the U.S., and this is just a classic American Pale Ale, 6.5%. And yeah, the canned on date, 1/25/22, so under a month old as I'm doing this. And that's just, it makes me happy. Why? Because a lot of these old, like I still don't think I've reviewed Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. That's a classic beer that I've had so many times, but I can't find that beer fresh. So when I do find it fresh, and for me, freshness for these beers is like 6 weeks or fresher. If I can find them relatively fresh, I'm going to revisit a lot of these old school Pale Ales and IPAs and stuff. And I'm happy I was able to grab Dale's Pale Ale. So I can't wait to get back in that. It's been probably 5-6 years since I've had it. So yeah, anyway. Next, we have from Ithaca. And again, Bell's, a lot of people get. Unibrew, a lot of people can get. Yuengling, if you're basically on the eastern part of the U.S., you can get it. Oscar Blues gets distro everywhere. Ithaca, though. Ithaca's more of like a northeast thing. So this is where the regional thing comes in. This is their Apricot Wheat. I don't think I've had this in about 10 years. It's just a wheat ale with natural apricot flavor. So yeah, and again, they have like a date, but I can barely read it. It's like smudged off. Where the hell was it? Yeah, right there. I don't know what any of this stands for, basically. I tried to figure it out, if it was a Julian cold and whatnot, and I don't think it is, but whatever. This beer should be fine, even if it's not super fresh. I remember enjoying that one, but not being like blown away by it, so I guess we'll see. Next, I can't believe this is in a can, 16-ounce can. Last time I had this beer, it was in a 22-ounce bomber. I love the look of that bomber, but now it's in a 16-ounce can, and it's from Rogue, and it's their double chocolate stout, so it's a stout brewed with natural flavor. Come on, Rogue. What are we doing? Yeah, 9%, 68 IBUs, and this is actually quite fresh too. Right now, about 5 weeks old. So that's another reason I picked this one up. A, I haven't had it in a while, and B, pretty damn fresh. Next, we have Victory, and Victory is another one of those northeastern, breweries that probably, basically out of this entire box, the Ithaca, Victory, the Great Lakes are the only three that I would say, like, you got to be in the Northeast or like East Coast to get it to some extent. So next we have Victory. We have their Dirt Wolf double IPA. This one's relatively fresh as well. On the side here, it says best by June 27, 22, and we're about, 4 months away from that, so pretty fresh. So Dirt Wolf, 8.7%, double IPA, Pilsner and Pale Crystal Malts, and Citra, Simcoe, Mosaic, and Chinook hops. I remember when this came out. Man, when did this come out? 5, 6, 7 years ago? It's been a long time. People went nuts over it. I enjoyed it. I wasn't blown away by it. And I remember somebody asked me to review this, and I can't remember. I'm sorry, whoever asked me, but I just couldn't find this one. And then when I did find it, it was super old. Like the best by date was like a couple weeks away. So the fact that I found this one relatively fresh, I get to review it. Super excited to see if my palate has changed enough where I can appreciate this more than I did. Next, we have from Great Lakes, we have their Dortmunder Gold Lager. So this is a Dortmunder Gold Lager, 5.8%, 30 IBUs. And this one, again, pretty damn fresh, about 5 weeks old. So I'm really excited that I found all these in a mix six. Most of these came from Wegmans Mix a Six Pack. This beer, the Rogue, and what other one? I know these two. Oh, the Apricot Wheat. All three of those I just bought like at a beer store, and the other 6 were from a mix six. So pretty excited. Can't wait to get that one. It's been a while since I've had that one, so really excited. And last but not least, did I save the best for last? I think I might have, but here's the thing. It's really old. It's from Weihenstephaner, and it is their, saying it as American, this is their Hefeweißbier Dunkel, or I would try to do it in German, and Hefeweißbier Dunkel? I don't know. I'm terrible at it. So, Dunkelweizen. Here's the thing. I did the code on the back. I think this beer is like just over 1 year old, which for a beer like this, obviously any beer you'd like to drink fresh. Some can age, your big, barley wines, imperial stouts, and this and that. We'll see how this is. I've had this numerous times. I've had it fresh. I've had it a little bit older. I've never had it over 1 year old. So I want to see how this one has held up. I love Dunkelweizens. I love Weihenstephaner. So I cannot wait to get in that one. I picked that one. I'm probably every single month in the next probably like 3 or 4 months, I'm gonna pick up a Weihenstephaner beer and review it, just because I've had so many from them when I first got into craft beer that it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I gotta drink more of their stuff. I gotta review more of their stuff. So again, in order, starting with Bell's, ending with Weihenstephaner, and every Thursday and Friday, you will see reviews of these beers. If you can get any of them and you want to drink along with my reviews, that's awesome. There's nothing better when somebody leaves a comment and they're like, I'm drinking this right now, and I loved your review, or I disagree with it, or yeah, I'm getting this, but I'm not getting that. That's why I have a beer tuning channel. I want to interact with people who are drinking similar stuff to me. And the fact that a lot of these beers can be grabbed by a lot of you out there, like, I hope you do. If not, no big deal, whatever. I'm still going to enjoy trying a lot of these classics and some newer ones, and just have a grand old time with it. So yeah, anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by for another vlog here on the Beer Patrol. I'm going to do one of these again at the end of March leading into April, and we'll see what we got going on. So yeah, anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by for another vlog. Till the next one, cheers.